Oh, did you do it twice? Okay. Anyway,
Nice.
hello everyone. I'm Gabriel,
And I'm Noah.
and welcome to Chair Champions Talk. Today we are talking about. Oh wait, I should probably do the.
Satina.
Yeah, Satina. Sorry. If you want to stuff at Twitter at Gabe and Noah, both of us are a
If you
little out of
want
sorts
to,
today.
if you want us to review any videos, games, any sorts of visual media, go to our Twitter of Noah Gabriel 1 and
Mm-hmm.
To our YouTube page. Comments down in the description.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I should let you do it. I sometimes I always do the the advertisement.
And we had a Discord, but due to some inactivity, we took it down. But we'll put it back up if you request it.
Yeah. For now, you can join the GAC server. I put it down there. This is where we record at. But yeah, if there is a demand for it, Chair Champions will return with a new server. But yes.
So yeah, our topic today is Satina, or
Mm-hmm.
I believe I forgot if it had a new title or anything.
I think it's still just a Satina. I kind of sped watched it like on times 2 speed. So, um, but
And
yeah,
forgive me on my side. I'm a bit sluggish today.
yeah. My boy out
Had some
here
business.
punching peeps.
not as bad as not as bad as it sounds, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so Satina is a story animated by I forget their name, but I'll have their link in the description. You can watch it yourself, and their name will be obviously in the title of the video. Um, but these the person who made this, I believe they're making it with a few friends. So in a sense, it's the same kind of thing as Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel. It's a group of people. I believe it started out as just one person. I believe it was like an animation like assignment. Like you had to do a thing for this, or you had to make a thing or whatever. And they basically um they just did it, and then I think they came up with actually continuing on with that. I could be wrong on that. These are just some details that I think of how it is, but I could be easily wrong on that. Let's start with the hardware section. As far as like voice acting, story, and things like that go, what do you think so far?
I like that it's a spin on the I'm a single dad and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like joint custody with my ex for my daughter, and it's like
Uh
it's literally this guy is so miserable that the only person that wanted to have a kid with him was
huh.
the embodiment of misery herself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Feeling Satan is actually
A
female
girl.
in this. So do what you want with that, fan artists.
No.
They've already done worse. Anyway, um, voice acting.
Oh, it was good. It was a couple of her earlier episodes that, she was still working on it. It's a bit choppy here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but coming up to her latest works, it's actually done a good improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So
Um,
yeah, I do have to
mm-hmm.
say that the male actor might need some practice with deeper tones, though.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, the voice acting's good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty enjoyable. Um, I think the storyline is pretty interesting because um it gives me a Looney Tune-ish vibe. Then again, I think everything gives me a Looney Tune-ish vibe if it's a cartoon. I'm just like, oh look, it's like Looney Tunes. Um, but uh I do kind of like the whole idea of it. It seems it's similarly to Hell of a Boss. It's basically you can make episodic adventures with it rather than an overall plot. And personally, I've always taken a liking to like episodic stuff that like you could start it anywhere and you'd still be able to enjoy it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's not exactly sorry about the cars in the background. But it's like I like things like that because that reminds me that's basically what Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, basically all like, old cartoons were. There wasn't really an overall storyline to any of those. It was just this is let's put the characters in this situation, it'll be funny, and let's do it. And I feel like that's kind of the route they're going with Satina, but I do see like an overall plot forming to a degree.
Yeah. Um, I would lean more onto Animaniac kind of antics than I would do Looney Tunes
Hmm.
because even though like yeah they joke around like the Looney Tunes and stuff like that, it's got that more like adult tone, like subtle adult tone that the
Hmm.
Animaniacs have.
Yeah.
So that's where I'd lean to. It's really funny, but
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I've always
okay.
I oh, oh,
Oh, sorry. My Thea just walked in.
okay.
Okay, if you're gonna sleep here, or he'll probably go to work tonight if you sleep there.
Okay.
Couch, get the blankets from the couch, please.
Okay. I'm back.
We better get to
Are you
work,
on the
but
phone?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were on the phone.
Ow.
Are you talking to your mom?
No, I'm in the middle of a work call.
this is a
You.
this is a work call.
Well, this is a
I mean,
part-time
yeah,
job too.
yeah, it is a part-time job. We just don't get paid yet.
Anyways, sorry about that, folks. Is it working now?
I think so. I'm vaguely sure it was still working, but just in case, I just wanted to be, for safety's sake.
Okay. Anyways,
Um,
sorry for that
yeah,
technical difficulty, folks.
yeah.
Uh,
um,
we're still using basic recording apps and stuff,
yeah, working
but
out the bugs.
eventually we'll get into better recording soon.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Anyways, where were we? We were
we
oh
were
I
talking in case, yeah, Satina. You were talking about the so I think the
Animaniac
story.
stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and I think we were moving on to software now.
Yeah. So the software section. Um, the I would say the animation is pretty good. It's definitely I would say different from like, the Hell of a Boss Has Been Hotel. I know I'm comparing it a lot to that, but I mean really, I mean
There's
Demon
not really much stuff out there.
yeah, right, right, right.
The
There's not many other things like that out there. Um
So with animation, it gives me hey shaky hand. Gives me like Amazing World of Gumball, like when it was first starting out, kind of
yes, very
vibes.
much
It's
so.
a very 2D yet subtle 3D animation.
Yeah, I'd say something that reminds me of is The Odd Ones Out, actually. Like a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah. That actually is more accurate.
Yeah. It's like Odd Ones Out, but with more in betweens and like more frames, I think.
Yes.
Um, in essence. Because like he usually doesn't put that many in his like stuff because it's more story stuff. It's not it's more it's like watching a slideshow in many
Yeah.
ways, less than animation. But this one is like if you took his style and animated it more. Yeah, there's also a mix of Pimations in there. Like you can faintly see Mike's work in there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think actually the voice actor who plays the guy might actually be a voice actor on Pymations too. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that, see about the names and stuff. But um, yeah, I think the animation is it's good. I would say it's good, right? It's good for the time being, and even if the entire series was like to stay at that very specific like level of animation, I think I'd be okay with it for the most part because in the sense that it's a like I said, like Looney Tunes, even though Looney Tunes is some premium amazing animation, like but it's based on emotiveness, understanding how the characters are feeling at the any given moment. Like you pause on any frame of like Milk Con or some of the older animators like content, you knew how the characters felt at any given moment. At any frame, you could tell, oh, Bugs Bunny is feeling like this, or um, the characters from some other like classics, like what's he like his the Milk Con head waggle, which was his famous thing. But I like the idea of making characters in the aesthetically pleasing, and then the point is that you're just trying to get across a specific like emotion. Looney Tunes was very emotive. I think that's the best way to describe it. It wasn't a story time. It wasn't like telling a story necessarily. In a way, it was like telling short stories. But because short stories are short, you have to put as much into the emotion as possible while you have that time.
Yeah, that's why it also kind of goes into the whole um pilot uh, pilot curse,
Uh huh.
that that I always see where it's like because either they don't put enough emotion or put too much emotion into that one pilot episode or in the first few episodes,
Uh huh.
that it's like it kind of kills it.
Yeah.
But Satina actually has um moved like surpassed that, like
Right.
surpassed that threshold. So
Yeah.
I'm actually happy that that one has made it through because
Hmm.
I remember seeing it the first time when I was, oh man, I think 6 years ago,
Yeah. It was released quite a while ago.
and I busted up when I first saw it.
Yeah. It was a good pilot. It was like, and it was the funny thing is that I think in comparison to like most like shows, it was a very short pilot. You know,
And it
it
was a
wasn't that
very,
long.
and I think the that creator and a couple others were just starting out doing the oh, welcome to hell, it's not as bad as you think kind of show.
Right. Yeah. Like a lot more of that has been coming out like more recently, and I definitely think. Speaking of which, I forgot. Yeah, next time we hang out, we got to go over. I got to show you Vivzy Pop's old comic from back in the day. Um, but anyway, but yeah, the when Satina first made that thing. In fact, when did Has Been Hotel come out? That was like 3 years ago. Two last year.
Mm, it
I'll
had
have
to
to
be
check
last
again.
year
It had to be at least
because
last year or the year
it's too
before.
soon.
Yeah, it's like it is a fairly it's recent enough that I don't think it's been 2 years. So like maybe one and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Satina technically, I would think basically came before that in many ways. Even though Vivzy Pop was still like making stuff, the idea Satina had was like already kind of becoming a thing. Um, and while I never plan on like going down that particular like topic premise, but I do think it's an interesting take that they've taken on it. In fact, I think there's like an old Broadway show called like City 666 or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but it's like a musical about a, a guy who goes into this like city that is basically owned by a man named Lucifer, and he's in charge, and the guy falls in love with this girl, and like stuff happens. I know a lot of people have played the songs, and it's some good music. um I want to see if I can find it, but it's like a musical about something like that. And it reminds me a bit of that because like the whole idea was that that city was supposed to be hell and
Yeah.
literal hell. And these like and there's like so it's not necessarily a new premise, but people have been taking more to it than more recently with the whole Satina and Hell of a Boss and Has Been and all that.
Okay. I'm very interested in this musical now, and
I
I've
want to.
lost.
I know one of my friends knows what it is. I'll ask. I'll see if I can find who played the songs because like they
And
play it
because
all
of
the
that,
time.
interest, I lost my train of thought.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
no. Um,
Um,
what were we talking about? I'm
we were
so sorry.
talking about we
I'm
were
sorry.
finishing up
I'm really
software
sorry,
section.
folks. Like, it's it's 3 something in the afternoon over where I'm at, and
Yeah,
I'm a bit beat. But
yeah.
um,
Um, well,
no, I'm just thinking. Never mind.
okay. Um,
So, what were we saying?
we were just finishing up. I think on the software section. So yeah, overall, I think it's I'm looking forward to more episodes. See how it's going. I'd say what's your rating you'd say for hardware?
Hardware. Other than the like choice characters that need a little improvement, I give it actually a 8.5
Mm-hmm.
because it's a great first time watch, but after watching it a couple times, you kind of see the errors here and there. You
Yeah,
know?
it's the kind of show that, a lot of shows when you rewatch them, you enjoy them more, and other shows when you rewatch them, you notice more mistakes. Like every show has mistakes and you notice them as you go. But but some shows are like you take Lord of the Rings. I know there's mistakes in those movies, technical things and like that.
Why
But
do you think it's
overall,
9 hours long?
right, of course, but like still, it's like you watch the whole series or you just watch one of the movies, it's still a really good movie. And you don't really think about those mistakes no matter how many times, in my opinion, that you watch it. All right?
Yeah. I
Like,
was just laughing and yawning at the same time.
oh dear. Uh, that's sign of the apocalypse, don't you know? um, but yeah, software section, I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10 because personally, I think a lot of people are doing a very, very specific style of animation right now. Like I said, it
Mm-hmm.
looks a lot like a mix between James and Pymations, and it's just like um, Odd Ones Out. I've seen a lot of his different stuff, and like, don't get me wrong, I like his storytelling stuff like that. But it's like,
You
the
gotta get
more
better
right,
artistic
right, it's
stuff.
more, yeah, it's more of an artistic thing than a animation thing, and I've been watching a lot more animation, so I think I'm a little bit biased. But um, and then you take Pymations. I would say I do really, really like Pymation stuff, but it's because I really, really, really like Pymation's comedy. I like the comedy they do. So it's like the animation is like it's like animation can improve the work, or the work can improve the animation, and it's good when both do the same. And so yeah, since I just think the Pymation jokes are funny. Like I've watched some of his older videos, and it's like even in the older styles and the less good animations, it's still funny to me. So it's like it's one of those kinds of situations, I think, for me, um that uh Satina could need I think it's like the timing, pacing, some of those things just need to be worked on a bit. But overall, I do think it's a solid, 8 out of 10 as far as animation goes. The artwork, the background artwork, fairly good. I actually really do like the background artwork. Sometimes it's a little too full, sometimes it's a little empty, but I do think it's a steady groundwork. So yeah,
Yeah. Um, I agree with you on that. So yeah, so I'm an 8.5. You're 8. So good. Like
yeah,
8 altogether. Like,
Yeah, I think a good solid 8
yeah.
all way
Okay.
around.
All
Yeah,
right.
keep up the work. If you see this, keep up the work that you're doing. We want to see more. Want to see the improvement. See a level up. Would you like to say the final stuff, Noah? This time,
Yeah.
I choose the day you're tired.
Question on. Yeah, the same. I'm tired. Um, if you'd like to suggest anything for us to do, review, laugh, talk about, go to our
Mhm.
Twitter, which is Gabe and Noah1 at twitter.com, and or leave a comment after the video. Like I said, we did have a Discord.
All right, can you hear me?
Noah?
Okay, and I'm
What? Yeah.
Gabriel. So
And this has been Church Champions Talk.
farewell.